The River Between Us, Part 2, Segment 1. The night Oba walked to the river again, I knew it was time. The moon was bright, the air still, the water restless. I followed him as he dug and muttered, his shadow bending over the earth like a thief in prayer. My chest burned with anger. For days I had hidden like a ghost. For days I had watched Ifeoma weep and Oba boast. For days I had carried the wound of betrayal. But no more. I stepped from the trees. Oba. His body stiffened. Slowly, he turned. His eyes widened. The spade slipped from his hands. For the first time since I had known him, fear covered his face. You, his voice cracked. You should be dead. I said. But the river rejected me. It does not keep the innocent. It keeps the guilty. The wind rose. The water roared louder. Oba stumbled back, shaking his head. No. This cannot be. You are a spirit. You are not real. I walked closer, each step heavy with rage. I am flesh, Oba. Flesh you tried to bury. But I live. And I will tear your mask before all. He turned and fled, his heavy robes flapping like wings of a trapped bird. I did not chase. I did not need to. His fear would carry my shadow into the village before I even arrived. The village in shock. The next morning, I walked into the square. People gasped, some screamed, others touched the ground as if to see if their eyes deceived them. It is Ao, they cried. But he was taken by the river. The river returned him. I stood tall, my head bandaged, my body thin from hiding, but my spirit strong. I raised my hands. Yes, I live. And I live to speak truth. Oba is not the man you believe. He is a murderer. He hides bodies by the river. The crowd erupted with noise. Some shouted in disbelief. Some whispered in fear. The elders frowned, shaking their heads. Oba stepped forward, his voice smooth, but I saw the sweat on his neck. Do not listen to this madness. This boy is cursed. The river spat him out because he belongs to the dead. He lies because he envies me. All eyes turned between us. Ifeoma stepped from the crowd, her face pale. Tears filled her eyes as she whispered, Ao, it is you. You live. My chest tightened at her voice, but I forced my eyes to stay on Oba. If I lie, then let the river speak. Come with me, all of you. Let us dig where Oba buries his secrets. The square grew silent. The elders looked at one another. At last, Elder Chika, oldest among them, nodded. If this is a lie, we will know. If it is truth, the spirits will reveal it. The grave exposed. We walked to the river in a great crowd. Drums were silent. Feet shuffled nervously. At the place I had marked, I pointed. Dig here. The young men dug. Their hands shook, their breaths heavy. Soon, the smell rose. The crowd covered their noses. Then the bones appeared. White. Hollow. Silent, but louder than drums. Women screamed. Men stumbled back. Children clung to their mothers. The elders bent low, their faces pale. Elder Chika lifted the skull with trembling hands. This is human. The crowd turned on Oba. Explain, they shouted. Where did these bones come from? Oba's mouth opened and closed. His voice stammered. Lies, tricks, he planted them here. But no one believed him now. His wealth could not silence the bones. Nnamdi's collapse. Suddenly, Nnamdi pushed through the crowd. His face was wet with sweat, his eyes wild. He fell on his knees before the elders. It is true, he cried. It is true. Ao speaks the truth. The crowd gasped. Elder Chika narrowed his eyes. Speak, Nnamdi. What do you know? Nnamdi's chest heaved. Tears spilled down his cheeks. Oba told me to bring Ao to this place. He promised me gold. He promised me Ifeoma. I believed him. I brought Ao here. Oba struck him. We threw him into the river. I thought he was dead. Gasps broke like thunder. All eyes turned to Oba. Oba's face twisted with rage. You fool, he roared. You think betraying me will save you? You were part of it. Nnamdi's body shook. He covered his face. Forgive me. Forgive me. I stared at him, my heart torn. Betrayal cut deep, but his tears were real. Still, his confession had sealed the truth. Oba could not escape. The crowd turns. The people surged with anger. Oba is a murderer, they shouted. He feeds the river with our brothers. He pretends to be generous, but his wealth is stained with blood. Oba's guards tried to shield him, but stones flew from the crowd. Women spat, men cursed. For the first time, Oba looked small, his power cracking like dry wood. The elders raised their staffs. Oba, Elder Chika said, his voice heavy, you will answer to the council. No wealth can save you now. Oba's eyes darted, his chest heaving. Then he turned and fled, pushing through the people, his guards scrambling after him. The crowd roared, chasing, but the elders called them back. No. Let him be judged by the spirits, not by anger. The silent reunion. As the people dispersed, Ifeoma ran to me. She touched my face with trembling hands, as if she feared I would vanish again. Tears ran down her cheeks. Ayo. I thought the river had taken you forever. I prayed every night. And now, you stand before me. I held her hands tight. My own eyes burned. I live, Ifeoma. Because of you. Because of love. Oba tried to bury me, but the river would not allow it. She pressed her forehead to mine, whispering, never leave me again. I swore silently in my heart, I never would. But as I held her, I saw Nnamdi standing apart, his head bowed, his shoulders shaking. The friend who betrayed me, the brother who broke my trust. His confession had saved me. But his betrayal had almost destroyed me. And I knew this was not the end. Oba was still free. And Nnamdi's shadow still hung heavy between us. The river whispered in the wind, the story is not over. The River Between Us, Part 2. Full Story, Segment 2. Oba's Escape. Oba did not wait for the council. That same night, while the elders argued in their huts, he fled into the dark with his guards. They said he crossed the far hills, carrying sacks of gold and charms in his robe. But a man like Oba does not run to hide forever. He runs to strike back. I knew it. The river whispered it. A snake cut from the crowd will still search for a place to strike. Nnamdi's shame. The village was restless. People whispered of Oba's crimes, of the bones dug from the earth, of his sudden flight. But another whisper followed me wherever I went, the whisper of betrayal. Some said, Ao has returned, strong as the river. But others said, how can he walk beside Nnamdi again? How can a man forgive such betrayal? Nnamdi walked like a shadow. His face was hollow, his eyes red from sleepless nights. He avoided me, yet he followed me from a distance, as if tied by chains of guilt. One evening, he came to me at the riverbank. He knelt before me, his hands trembling. Ao, he whispered, strike me if you must. Curse me if you wish. I deserve it. I betrayed you. I let envy blind me. I let Oba use me like a dog. Every day, my chest burns with shame. I looked at him, my heart heavy. Why, Nnamdi? We were brothers. You had my trust, my love. Why? Tears spilled down his face. Because I wanted what you had. I wanted Ifeoma's smile. I wanted the love she gave you so freely. But now I see, no gold, no trick, no betrayal could buy her heart. And I have lost everything. I turned away, the river whispering at my feet. Part of me wanted to forgive him. Part of me wanted to strike him down. But I said nothing. Sometimes silence is sharper than a blade. Ifeoma's fear. Ifeoma clung to me every day after my return, yet I saw fear in her eyes. Not fear of me, fear of what was still to come. Ao, she said one night, Oba has run, but he will not rest. His pride is too strong. He will come back, and he will not come with gifts this time. He will come with fire and blood. Her words cut deep. I held her hand. Then let him come. The river saved me once. It will save me again. But even as I spoke, my chest was heavy. Because I knew she was right. Oba would not forgive. The stranger's warning. One market day, a traveler came into the village. He carried news. I saw Oba, he told the elders. He is not far. He gathers men in the hills. Men with swords, men with charms. He says he will return to take what is his, with or without blessing. The village shook with fear. Some said we should prepare for war. Others said we should beg for peace. Elder Chika called a gathering. His voice was grave. Oba is not only our enemy. He is the enemy of the river itself. If he comes, we will not bow. We will stand. But we must be ready. The people looked at me. Their eyes begged for courage. They saw me not just as Ao the fisherman, but as Ao who returned from the dead. And in their eyes, I saw my path. The rift between brothers. That night, Nnamdi came again. His face was drawn, his body trembling. Ao, he said, let me fight beside you. Let me stand against Oba. Let me wash my shame with blood. I studied him. His voice was desperate, but was it true? Could I trust the man who dragged me to death? Could I call him brother again? I cannot fight beside a snake, I said coldly. He fell to his knees. Then kill me now. Better your hand than Oba's. But do not let me live in this shadow. I looked at him long. My heart twisted. I could not forgive. But I could not kill either. The river will judge you, I said at last. Not me. And I walked away, leaving him in the dust. His cries followed me, but I did not turn back. The calm before the storm. Days passed, but the village was no longer the same. The drums of joy were silent. The laughter of children was thin. Men sharpened their cutlasses, women stored food in pots. All waited for Oba's return. I trained by the river, my body growing strong again. I threw nets, lifted stones, ran along the bank until sweat poured. If Oba came with fire, I would meet him with storm. Ifeoma watched me with worried eyes. Sometimes she begged me to leave with her, to run far away where Oba could not find us. But I shook my head. If I run, he will burn the village. He will not stop. This fight is not only for us. It is for all. And in the wind, the river whispered, prepare, Ao. The storm is near. The River Between Us, Part 2. Full Story, Segment 3. The Night of Fire. It began with smoke. Dark clouds rising from the hills. Then came the sound of drums, not the drums of festival, but the drums of war. Children cried, women ran for cover. The men gathered with their cutlasses, their bows, their spears, but fear sat heavy in their eyes. Oba came with torches and men armed with swords. His robes were black, his charms rattling on his chest. His eyes burned with madness. You thought you could shame me, he shouted from the edge of the village. You thought bones could bury Oba. No. I am the river. I am the fire. And tonight, I will take back what is mine, Ifeoma, and the respect you owe me. The crowd trembled. Some wanted to run, some wanted to fight. I stepped forward. My voice was loud and steady. Oba, the river rejects you. Your wealth is stolen, your hands are stained with blood. Leave, before the spirits take you. He laughed, a wild, broken laugh. The spirits are mine. Even death could not keep you down, Ao, but I will send you there again, and this time, you will not rise. The first clash. His men rushed forward. Spears met cutlasses, fire met earth. The square filled with chaos. Cries and shouts tore the night. I fought with the strength of the river. My hands gripped a staff, my body moved with fury. I struck down the first, dodged the second, stood like a wall against the third. River Between Us Part 2 continues. Like and subscribe for continuation.